And welcome back, YouTube. So I'm just getting ready to roll out of West Tech Recycling. It is 9:57 a.m. Tuesday, October 4th, 2022. I managed to only spend $33, which is an incredible feat of willpower for me because, oh my God, this store is my crack dealer. Just saying. Oh, by the way, I was asked not to park there as I was leaving. The guy was totally cool about it. He just was concerned. He said sometimes he throws stuff into the dumpster, and sometimes throwing stuff into the dumpster he misses, and seemed pretty concerned about that. Yeah, I've decided in the big decision of to table or not to table, I've decided not to table. Which isn't to say I might not come back for it later, but I noticed to get into the parking lot you gotta go buy a little guard shack, and yeah, it's like, is it a bandit? Am I stealing somebody's table? There's a really fine line right there, and I'm not sure what side I'd be on it. So, wow, that is a weird place for a do not enter sign. I'm not taking that one seriously. I feel like it was left in the wrong spot. Anyway, yeah, I spent only $33. I could have easily spent about $400 if I had $400 to piss away on stuff. They had a portable computer cart. They were asking for $1 for, complete with a really nice already mounted monitor and a brand new keyboard mouse set in the box. A portable roll-away computer desk, mobile workstation. Really, in fact, one of the nicest ones I think I've ever seen. Yeah, I absolutely don't need it. Absolutely don't have a place to put it. God, I would love to have one of those. It'd be so cool to have one of those. But yeah, today's not the day to get one. $100 for the thing was an absolute steal. Other goodies that I saw, they had one really nice JBL monitor speaker. Only one, didn't have a match to it. So that was an easy decision. But man, if there'd have been two of them there, I would have really had to fight my brain to not buy them. Gosh, what other kind of goodies were there? Really nice pair of, probably looked to be about 30-year-old Shure professional speakers. They're old enough that they only had 1/4-inch pass-through jacks on them, but still really nice Shure PA speakers. They were asking $100, which not a bad price, but not a great price. Yeah, I don't need another pair of PA speakers right now, but God, I just like having as many PA speakers as I have. But considering I'm only doing one karaoke gig a week, probably best to pass on that one. And I'm plenty equipped for the gig I have. Except I could use more wireless microphones, but didn't see any of those for sale. There was a really nice rack mount professional equalizer. I forget how many bands, but separate right and left bands. Again, really wanted that. Really had to walk away from that. They were asking $50 for it, which felt like a steal for it. But if it was 10, it would have left with me. $50, yeah, I don't immediately need one of those. I had to walk away from it. But this is a pro level Yamaha EQ, had XLR ins and outs and RCA ins and outs. So yeah, I had to walk away from that one too. Several high-end stereo and home theater receivers. Kind of a low-end stereo with an 8-track player on it. I always love to grab those, but I had to walk away from all of that. I think what else I saw quite a few like interesting multi-channel professional amps, and I don't mean like multi-channel as in like 5.1 type amps, but more like ones for doing multiple zones. But really, she's cute. Really nice high-end ones. And they weren't asking much for them, and probably I could make good money flipping them, but I just haven't got time to really fuck with that. I need to sell this shit I already have that I'm not selling, rather than picking up more stuff to sell. But Yeah, none of them at the price of just straight giving it away, but certainly enough to give me pause. And I was no, not until I start moving the stuff I have can I really be thinking about grabbing more of that kind of stuff, since I don't really need it. Another item I saw that really had to fight myself not to buy it. Again, it was $50. If it was $10, it would have left with me. But 50, yeah, I think I had to pass. But they actually had a professional, like what would have been used in broadcasting back in the day, Betacam VCR. I've always wanted one of those. I do not have one of those. Yeah, it took a lot for me to walk away from that one, and it looked to be in really nice condition. I do forget the brand name, probably Sony, but yeah, definitely a really high-end pro level broadcast type VCR. Not that I have any media for it or any use for it, but it's just the kind of shit I collect, and someday, and it's a possibility that'll sit there for a while, because that's not a very in-demand item. I did buy a VCR, and in fact I want to do a video later and show all the goodies that I got. And on that note, I should probably just do that. By the way, I'm on my way to the clerk of court's office to get the Phoenix's answer in the lawsuit regarding them neglecting all the homeless encampments in the zone, and just letting that be out of hand. The one filed by the property owners, business owners down there. Wow, it's kind of crazy seeing a crane in the middle of the road like that. Turn left here. Can I turn left here? Yes, I can. You know, it's not that I don't know my way around downtown Phoenix, but right now there's so much construction and detours that I'm just not sure which roads can still get me through and which roads can't. A lot more in my element walking around downtown Phoenix than I am driving. Some kind of an officer walking across the street. Don't recognize the badge. Kind of looks like a sheriff deputy. Which makes sense. I'm right adjacent to the Maricopa County Superior Court building. Got the old courthouse directly on my right, and the next building you can see on my right in this view here is the East Court building. At this point, the Maricopa County Superior Court, not counting all the satellite courts that are part of it, but as far as the downtown complex, consists of four different court buildings. Five different court buildings that are all connected except for the old courthouse. Now, I do believe there's a tunnel that connects the old courthouse to the rest of them, but that's not publicly accessible. But anyway, that's the East Court building right there on my right, and then the next tower that you see past it with the dark and the light together. Where's my fingertip? That didn't work. Where do I come? Oh, there we go. That one. That's the, I'm not sure what that's called. That's the new court building. I forget what it's actually called. Last time I went through that building, it was largely empty, but it does have a new cafeteria area in it. And it has an interesting catwalk that connects to the other court buildings, although the connection is not nearly as convenient as the long hallway that connects the East Court building, the Central Court building, and the West Court building. All right, got an SUV directly in front of me, blocking the intersection. Unfortunately, he made it out of the intersection before the light changed. This light is taking forever. Or maybe it changed and I was running my mouth and I didn't notice. Wouldn't be the first time that happened. Eager to see how this light rail project finishes. Personally, I feel like it's a giant waste of money. As much as I love public transit, I feel this money could have gone a lot farther with buses and some nice bus shelters. But nobody's impressed by that. And of course, politicians are trying to impress people by, hey, look what we built, light rail. Yeah, it's all decisions being made by people that don't actually use transit. And I got a feeling that the South Central neighborhood is Not going to be what it was. It's done. All right, we got a sign clearly says to keep right. That guy went to the left and is driving on the wrong side of the road. Good times. Too bad that SUV wasn't coming directly at him. Would have been nice to see him almost have a head-on collision. Oh man, this is the block that had that Flophouse Hotel I was talking about the other day. The one that was on Madison Street, and I'm pretty sure I'm on Madison Street. It was on the south side of this road, and that's all just a parking lot now. Every building on the south side of this road between Central and First Street has been raised. So yeah, that was kind of those were pretty historic buildings too, but yeah, all down and nothing but a parking lot there. It's not like they raised it to build something nice. All right, well, I managed to make it to Jackson Street. That was not as direct and easy as I was hoping it would be, but hey, at least I made it. All right, most worthless bicycle infrastructure ever. We've got Sharrows. Look at that, green Sharrows, indicating that this is also a shared bike lane. As if any motorist gives a shit about yielding to a bicycle in a lane because they put green Sharrows on the damn thing. And yeah, southbound First Avenue, the underpass completely closed. Doesn't look like they're doing anything with it. It just looks like it's closed. And that apartment complex on the left, I think it used to be called Champagne Place. I mentioned in a vlog before, I sort of was staying there with a girlfriend many years ago in her little itty-bitty tiny studio apartment, which directly faces the old intake for Madison Street Jail, which is what I just passed on the right. And now I'm passing the 4th Avenue Jail, which is now the main downtown jail and intake processing facility for inmates. Of course, most everybody else gets housed someplace else, but they do the intake and process you there. And Sheriff's Department building on the right, that's that weird looking artistic, that super bizarre shaped building on the right there. Maricopa County Sheriff's Office headquarters. Built by Arpaio, now occupied by Sheriff Pinzone, who I think was a giant improvement on Arpaio. Love the historic Santa Fe Freight Depot. I mean, now it's just, Maricopa County offices, but it's a pretty neat historic building, and I'm glad it was restored and saved when so little bit is. Right, enter. I was told this is free parking. This is free parking as long as I'm going to the yeah, I was told this is free parking if I'm going to the Clerk of Court's records office.
Yes, sir. Court.
Thank you. This is nice. Just want to know where you're parking. Of course, I suppose I could always lie and say that's where I'm going and go anywhere. I don't know how much they're watching, but I don't think I would want to run that risk. That looks like the exit doors to get me, yeah, right to the clerk's office. So I'll park as close to here as I can. Is that a good spot? It doesn't look reserved. Wow. A whole lot nicer than parking over where someone might mess with my car. First time I've ever parked in this garage. I always thought this was one that was expensive to park in. I forget who it was that told me it was free to park here, but I want to say it was one of the security officers. All right. So I was going to talk about more about the stuff that I got from Ghettotronics. But yeah, I did buy a VCR. Bought a Sanyo Betamax, I think Super Beta Hi-Fi VCR. I asked how much, he said $5. I don't know if it works, there's a good chance it needs work, but you know what? $5 is my price range for that kind of a project. And will I sell it? Most likely I won't. Most likely I'll add that to my bedroom system, since I already have a really nice stereo Super Beta in my living room system, and I do actually have quite a few Betamax tapes that I thoroughly enjoy watching. And a lot of stuff I have on Betamax I'd be very hard pressed to find in any other formats. Wow, I never noticed this before. I really thought that building was attached to the parking garage, but there is actually space here. You got some shared infrastructure, some plumbing and cabling that goes across, but yeah, the historic depot is definitely separated from the garage. I'm so glad they saved this, and it's just sad that there's really no more freight train service down in this area, and warehouses that are actually served by freight trains with docks. I mean, that's what these docks here, that's what they originally were. There used to be train tracks that came right up to where the box cars could press right adjacent against this wood, and they could open the side and load freight from the trains. I feel like that's part of American freight infrastructure that's really been lost in favor of warehouses like what I work in. Anyway, more about what I scored in the Ghettotronics. I did get my DVI cables. At least I remembered to get what I was after. The ones I got, all brand new, sealed. I got different types. I got 2 of one type and 2 of a different type, just because it's just weird, like how those monitors are sort of working but sort of not working, and I just figured I'd probably have better odds of it working out if I got the different types of. Wow, never noticed this before. The parking garage looks like it continues to the top level of this building. I don't know how I never noticed that before. Yeah, I figure I have a better chance of it working out for me. Hopefully I can get that hooked up on my computer when I get home. Bought 3 high-capacity data cartridges. I have no idea what the format is. They sold them to me. They're factory sealed, $1 a piece. I know I can. There's just no way in hell I can't make a fat profit on those on eBay. Unless, of course, my eBay account got suspended for blowing off my last couple orders. I need to really do something about that. I never really noticed how cool looking the sheriff's department building is from this angle. That's wild. That's one of the most unique looking buildings in Phoenix, but a lot of people miss it because it's in sort of an out of the way location. But, what else I got there? I got a few other random goodies. Bought a Bluetooth speaker. Not a fan of Bluetooth speakers, but it felt like a pretty hefty, like higher quality one, with rechargeable internal batteries. $2. How am I not going to get that for $2? Anyway, I can't believe I wasted 17 minutes between Ghettotronics and the clerk of court's office. I could have walked it in less than 17 minutes. But hey, thanks for coming with me on the journey.